Friday reads, filling up your social media feeds with my Friday reads, gonna read a book for my Friday reads.
Hello, Book People, PT here. Wow, that was more awkward than I thought it would be. At least it felt more awkward than I thought it would be. Okay, so here's what happened. I broke my brain. I think, basically, I need to simplify my life a little bit, man. My brain is going nuts. I've had some pretty intense projects at work I've been working on. I am doing the final revisions on the final Zane Halloway novella, as well as putting together the omnibus edition of all of them. I'm working on some introductions and notes kind of for that, as well as doing some marketing stuff, as well as trying to do the NaNoWriMo book. And then on top of that, I've been reading 4 books at once, and then one of which was an audiobook, so I'd be listening to my audiobook, trying to do stuff. And man, my brain this week was just yo, PT, take it down a notch, buddy. So I think that's what I need to do. And I think I've just been a little bit in a weird, a little bit blasé kind of mood. I think it's partly the same thing happened to me when I finished writing the Deadlock trilogy. When you're writing a big project, your brain, at least my brain, I'm not going to speak for you, I don't know what you're like. What happens to me when I'm writing a book or a series is that a portion of my brain is always thinking about it. If I'm working on other stuff, it might be a super small percentage and just kind of running in the background program or whatever, and maybe not even consciously thinking about it at all. But definitely every down moment, when I'm laying in bed at night going to sleep, when I'm taking a shower, when I'm, any time that I don't have any other kind of sensory input coming in, is thinking about the book and kind of working through the mental problems of the book. And I think I'm just a little worn out, and I always feel a little bit down kind of when I finish a series. My brain doesn't quite know what to do with itself, because it spent so long just thinking about this one thing really deeply, and now it can do anything. So why am I telling you all this in my Friday Reads video? Because a couple things. I need to really scale back on what I'm reading, as far as reading a bunch of things concurrently. I need to focus on one thing. Part of that, I think, is I need to stop listening to audiobooks for a little while, because audiobooks, by their very nature, when I listen to them at least, I'm always multitasking, right? I'm always driving somewhere, doing something else while I'm listening to audiobooks. And I think my brain needs me to single task a little bit. So I'm gonna cut out audiobooks for a little bit, which means I was listening to Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. I've tried to start it 3 times just because my brain just is getting so distracted. So I'm gonna put that aside for a little bit, and I'm gonna just focus on one book at a time. It also means I am going to kind of step out of NaNoWriMo. I've got about, I don't know, 25,000 words or so in my book, so I could finish it if I pushed hard. I know, but I don't think it's very good what I've written, and I know you shouldn't judge something in the middle of it, which is go back to my advice video from the beginning of this. That's what I told everyone else, so I should probably go listen to my own advice. But the thing is, I just think I didn't give myself long enough after finishing the last project, give myself a chance to kind of rejuvenate before diving into this one. So stepping down from that. And it's funny because definitely you could see it if you watch my little advice video by Hubris, that this was going to be no problem for me to complete. I was like, I might not be the best writer, but there's one thing I know, and it's writing a lot of words. And yeah, that was Hubris. Hubris, my friends, Hubris. So yeah, I'm not going to finish NaNoWriMo this year, but I'm okay with that. So what I am going to focus on, though, is finishing up the Zane Halloway stuff to get that out in December, and then let's talk about what I am reading, single laser focus. And thank you for letting me have that little brambly introduction there. Okay, so this one I just finished. It is Frank by Jon Ronson. This is the story of Jon Ronson's time in the band with Frank Sidebottom, who was this kind of novelty act, I guess you'd call it, where he did covers of songs, but it was this dude, and he wore this crazy fake head with these big, oversized head with these big crazy eyes and everything, and he would wear that on stage when he sang. And it's just a story about Jon Ronson's time with him. Jon Ronson also wrote a movie of the same name, Frank, that is, I think it's on Netflix, so I'm going to watch that. I just finished this today. This book was really, really funny and really cool. It's really short, it could have been, almost could have been a magazine article or something, a long magazine article. Maybe that's overstating it a little, but it's only It's only 60, 70 pages, and like with pretty healthy margins, things like that. But it's a really funny story and really captivating story. John Ronson, I've talked about his So You've Been Publicly Shamed book, which I loved. But he's such a hilarious writer. Like here's this one paragraph that really made me laugh towards the beginning. He writes, I dreamed about becoming a songwriter. My handicap was that I didn't have any imagination. I could only write songs about things that were happening right in front of me. Like Drunk Tramps, a song I wrote about some drunk tramps I saw being ignored by businessmen. Here's the lyrics. Drunk tramps, ignored by businessmen. They walk right past you. They don't even see you, but you're the special ones. With pain but hope in your eyes. Drunk tramps. It really made me laugh for some reason, the way he told that. But this is a very witty, very fun, and interesting book. My friend Dave McLeod sent this book to me. He wrote his name and the date he read it in. He thought I'd like it after I talked about So You've Been Publicly Shamed, and he was correct. I liked it a lot. And he said in his letter when he sent it to me that it would be cool if I could pass it on to someone when I'm done. So I'm going to do that. I don't know how or who or what yet. I'm kind of waiting to feel that connection. Who's the person that will connect with this book? But a really fun song about, kind of also a really fun book about kind of what it means to be like a fringe kind of musical act that's not, that's kind of being weird and kind of purposefully being strange and weird, and what that's all about, and talks about some other groups like that as well. Okay, so that's that. Also, now that I'm done with that, I'm gonna flip my focus back over to Shadows of Self. Yes, I'm still reading that. I started reading it the day it came out, like almost 2 months ago now, I think. But I haven't read it probably in a month, and I'm going to get back to it and finish it because I do enjoy it a lot. I just, like I said, I've been so mentally distracted, and my goal for the rest of 2016 is laser focus. So I was gonna mention some other books that I'm gonna read maybe after Shadows of Self, but you know what? Not doing it. I'm going to be laser focused here, buddy. So Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson is what I'm going to be focused on this week. If I finish that, I'll start something else. If I don't, then I'll be talking about that again next week, I guess. But I think I'll finish that, and got some cool stuff on the horizon. All right, this was Rambly. This was the Long Friday Reads video. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.